Spider-Man is a jerk. That is undeniable. And you might be like, no, come on, Spider-Man's a good guy, and he is. But he's a fucking jerk. If you go and look through some of the comics, Spider-Man is consistently talking shit to everyone he fights, bullying them, really, when you think about it at the end of the day. So you have this guy who was bullied, as a fucking kid in high school and probably throughout his entire school. And once he gains the power, he becomes the bully to these people who admittedly are not good people and deserve to be destroyed, quite frankly. So you have this guy beating up all these people and being a jerk about it while he's doing it, because they're not really a match for him 90% of the time, and even when they are, it doesn't matter to him because he's a jerk. And so the thing about the thing about Spider-Man is that he's a jerk, but he's also got this really sincere and genuine, real side to him that makes him the interesting character that I think everyone likes. And what I mean by that is, like, alright, so everyone can relate to Spider-Man pretty much because everyone's been a kid and everyone's kind of gone through the same bullshit that he's gone through. I mean, the writers just kind of put him through the same shit that everyone, like, having to pay rent, having to, I don't know, deal with dating and a whole bunch of other bullshit. So that's why he's such a relatable character. But I was reading this issue at the recommendation of my local comic book store owner or manager, and quick plug, check out the YouTube channel, the link right here. I work on the channel, I edit for it. It's a great fucking channel. It's the best channel I've ever worked with, and so you should check it out. So I checked out this issue. It's issue 248 of Amazing Spider-Man, and in the issue he faces off with, like, I don't know, some random fucking villain you've probably never even heard of. I think it's like Thunderball. And he fucking beats this guy's ass, destroys him, just annihilates him, whatever, gets on, does his thing, beats this guy's ass. And when he's done with it, that's only taken up like 16 pages, and comic books are normally 24 or something like that. So the writer has an additional 8 pages to fill. And what he does with it is honestly some of the best comic book writing I've ever seen. And to be fair, I've only been reading for, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years or something, and I've by no means gotten anywhere near through every comic book I've ever read. So, like, you can see all the comics I own pretty much over there. So in this issue, the backup story is about this kid who writes into the Daily Bugle or whatever, and he says, hey, I'm sick, I'm in the hospital, and my fucking lifelong dream is to meet Spider-Man. This kid's a huge Spider-Man fan. Like, think of me times, like, 20 fucking thousand. Because this kid is a fan of him in fucking real life. Because there's Spider-Man in real life to him. So he's a fucking huge fan. So this kid writes into the Daily Bugle because he knows that, obviously, Peter Parker has some kind of connection with him because he's taking these pictures of him all the time. So he's essentially kind of wants Peter to tell him, hey, maybe, bring Spider-Man in. Maybe do some tricks for me. Let me meet him. Do his thing. So naturally, being the good person, being the jerk over here. This is the jerk side of him, where he's Spider-Man, and then here's the more genuine, real, great side of Peter Parker and Spider-Man that I think everyone fell in love with. And so he goes to the hospital. He does this thing. He's fucking spinning webs and climbing all the walls like a fucking maniac. And he does this thing. He makes the kid laugh, makes the kid happy. This kid's in the hospital. He's fucking sick. And then what happens is, after he's done all this shit, and, like, he's like, all right, I'm about to fucking swing off, little Freddy. The kid's like, hey, wait, maybe take off your mask for me. Yeah, take off the mask. I know it's only our first date and all, but maybe you could skip to third base. And so Peter's like, yikes. I don't really do this on the first date normally. I should probably stop with that. So he's like, kind of like, fuck, dude, like, this kid's sick, and I want to make him happy. Like, he's obviously a huge fucking fan of me, and I probably mean a lot to him, except probably in a less narcissistic. Actually, no, Peter's pretty narcissistic. Probably You know what I mean? But just the way Peter would do it. So he's kind of like, shit, you know, I mean the world to this kid. He's sick, you know, fuck. I guess I'll do it. So he fucking takes off his goddamn mask, right? Takes off his mask, and the kid's like, holy shit, you're fucking Peter Parker. You're the kid taking the pictures of Spider-Man. That's how you have the fucking connection to him. And he's like, yeah, you know, that's me. Um, yeah. And then he goes on to like tell him the story of how basically, you know, he fucking got his Uncle Ben killed because he's just like, oh, you want me to stop this robber that I'm fully capable of stopping? Well, too bad, I can't be asked. And then, you know, great power comes great responsibility and all that. Which, to any normal person, especially in a real fucking world situation, would probably be like, huh, you know, I'm not so sure I look up to you as much anymore since you quite frankly literally got your fucking uncle killed. But the kid, being naive, I mean, maybe it's wrong to call him naive, but regardless, let's just say he's naive. Naive because he sits there and he's just like, he doesn't care. He accepts that Peter has flaws and the Spider-Man has flaws, and he's like, you know what, you're still a fucking great person. Like, at the end of the day, you fucking save people. Um, you fucking do all this great shit. You even came here to see me. So the kid's like, don't worry, you know, I won't spill the beans. I won't fucking tell anybody about this. And Peter's like, yeah, you know, I'm sure, whatever. And he's kind of like, what the fuck did I just do that for? I did not have to do that. Like, I didn't even have to come here and fucking give this kid a presence, let alone tell him who I fucking am. So, anyway, Spider-Man's like, oh, swoof, and like swings off into the sunset. And then like the next, like, there's a little like box, like a text box or whatever, and it says that little Bobby had leukemia or something and fucking died 2 days later. So yeah, Spider-Man's a jerk, but he's also really fucking great.